If you ask what Japan's greatest cherry blossom destinations are, three places almost always come up: Mount Yoshino in Nara, Hirosaki Castle in Aomori, and Takato Castle Park in Nagano. Among these three iconic Sakura locations, Takato Castle Park is probably the most difficult to reach. Located on a hill in the quiet mountain city of Ina, deep in the heart of Nagano Prefecture, the park sits far away from Japan's major travel corridors. From Tokyo, it takes about 3.5 hours by car. For us, coming from Osaka, the journey meant a 5-hour bus ride winding through valleys and mountain passes. It's definitely not the easiest Sakura destination to reach. But the real question is it worth the journey? The answer is absolutely yes. We arrived at Takato around 3 in the afternoon, just as the sunlight was beginning to soften over the mountains. Before entering the park, one of the first things that caught our attention was the beautiful water reservoir below the castle hill. The calm surface of the lake reflected the sky like a mirror. And in the distance, beyond the water, the snow-capped peaks of the Japanese Alps rose quietly against the horizon. It's a stunning contrast: pink cherry blossoms, blue water, and white mountain peaks all in the same view. Standing here for a moment, it's easy to understand why this place is considered one of Japan's most special Sakura landscapes. Today is April 14th. Cherry blossom season has already wrapped up across much of the Kansai region, including cities like Osaka and Kyoto. For most travelers, that would mean the end of Sakura season. But here in the mountains of Nagano Prefecture, spring arrives a little later. Because of the higher elevation and cooler temperatures, the cherry blossoms bloom after the rest of the country. And today, the timing couldn't be more perfect. The blossoms here are right at their peak. It's one of those rare spring days that feels made for photography and for simply enjoying the beauty of the sakura. We entered through the southern entrance of the park. Right in front of us stands Hakutobashi, or the White Rabbit Bridge. This bridge crosses what was once the castle's outer moat. Although the moat has largely dried over time, the bridge still marks the boundary that once protected the castle. Takato Castle was built in the early 16th century at what is now Ina in Nagano Prefecture, guarding an important route through central Japan. In 1545, it came under the control of the powerful warlord Takeda Shingen and became a key stronghold of the Takeda clan. During the Edo period, the castle served as the seat of the Takato domain for over 2 centuries. After the Meiji Restoration in 1868, the castle was dismantled and cherry trees were later planted across the ruins, creating what is now Takato Castle Park. Not much remains of the original castle today, aside from a few stone foundations and the traces of its former moats. Taiko Yagura, or drum turret. In the days of the samurai, drum towers were used to signal important events, announcing the opening of gates, warning of danger, or marking the passing of time. Originally, this turret stood beside the castle's rear gate, but during the Meiji period, it was relocated to its present position here in the park. Continuing deeper into the grounds, we pass through Tonyamon, an old wooden gate with an interesting history. This gate didn't originally belong to the castle. It once stood at the home of a merchant in town, and was later donated and relocated here to become part of the park. Beyond the gate lies one of the most famous viewpoints in the entire park, Unkyo, also known as the Sakura Cloud Bridge. The The bridge curves gently across the landscape, surrounded by cherry trees on every side. During peak bloom, this becomes one of the most breathtaking Sakura scenes in Takato. Today, the bridge is wrapped in layers of pink blossoms, so dense that it almost feels like standing inside a cloud of cherry flowers. Beneath the bridge lies what used to be the castle's inner moat. Much of the moat has dried over time, and visitors can now walk down into the former moat area. From below, looking up toward the bridge, you get one of the most beautiful vantage points in the entire park. The graceful curve of the bridge rises above you, framed by arching branches of cherry blossoms. It's a perfect scene where history and nature come together. Leaving the moat behind, we climbed up toward the castle hill. From here, the walking paths begin to weave through the heart of the park. And this is where the true scale of the cherry blossoms becomes clear. Rows upon rows of sakura trees stretch across the hillside. Their branches spread wide above the pathways, forming a soft pink canopy overhead. As we walk beneath them, sunlight filters gently through thousands of delicate petals. Every now and then, a breeze moves through the branches and a few blossoms drift quietly down. As we wandered deeper into the park, the festive atmosphere became more lively. Along the pathways, rows of food stalls had already begun preparing for the evening crowds. The smell of grilled food filled the air. There were stalls selling takoyaki, sizzling yakisoba noodles, skewers of grilled chicken, and sweet festival snacks.
What is this? A rice cooker.
Families and friends gather beneath the trees, sitting on picnic mats and sharing food together. This tradition of gathering under cherry trees is known as hanami, one of Japan's most cherished springtime customs. Here in Takato, the atmosphere feels relaxed and unhurried. Compared with many of Japan's more famous sakura destinations, the crowds are smaller and the pace is slower. It gives visitors the chance to wander, pause, and truly appreciate the blossoms. Most of the trees here belong to a unique variety known as Takato Kohigan. Their blossoms have a slightly deeper pink color than the common Mount Yoshino trees found across much of Japan. With around 1,500 trees blooming together across the hillside, the entire park transforms into a sea of pink. As the afternoon slowly fades toward evening, the sunlight softens. A warm golden glow settles across the blossoms. Gradually, the sun dips behind the mountains. The sky shifts from blue to shades of orange and violet. For a brief moment, the park becomes quiet. Then, one by one, the lights begin to turn on. Across the hillside, gentle illumination spreads through the cherry trees. Under the night lights, the blossoms take on an entirely new character. The petals glow softly in the darkness, like floating clouds of pink and white. Walking beneath them feels almost dreamlike. The paths wind through glowing tunnels of cherry blossoms, and visitors move slowly through the illuminated trees. The cool mountain air settles over the park, and the sounds of the evening grow softer. During the day, Takato Castle Park is beautiful, but at night, it becomes something truly magical. Walking under illuminated cherry trees feels almost dreamlike. Shadows move gently across the petals, lanterns glow along the pathways, and the entire park takes on a quiet, romantic atmosphere. Back near the Sakura Cloud Bridge, the scene becomes especially magical. The graceful curve of the bridge stands surrounded by glowing blossoms. Many visitors say that night illumination at Takato is the true highlight of the experience. And standing beneath these glowing trees, it's easy to understand why. Traveling to Takato takes time. It's not the easiest Sakura destination to reach, but sometimes the places that require the most effort become the ones we remember the longest. Between the quiet mountain scenery, the historic castle grounds, and the breathtaking sea of pink blossoms, Takato offers a cherry blossom experience that feels both spectacular and peaceful. And perhaps that's what makes it so special. Because here, surrounded by mountains and clouds of sakura, you're not just seeing the cherry blossoms, you're truly experiencing them. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Stay curious, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next one.